This isn't the film we're talking about here, folks. It's actually the album, the 1964 album. The Beatles have announced a special 60th anniversary reissue of their 1964 album, A Hard Day's Night, set for release on October 19th. The reissue will be available as a limited edition 180 gram, I think that is, white vinyl pressing in celebration of National Album Day. A Hard Day's Night, the band's third studio album, what the fuck was that, was entirely written by Paul McCartney and John Lennon, making a significant moment in their songwriting partnership. The album also served as part of the soundtrack.
It's a soundtrack to my dog who's farting behind me, and it's like a catalytic converter. Anyone that knows. There's your smell-o-vision.
Yeah, Golden Virgin, yeah. John, the album also served as part of the soundtrack for the Beatles' first film and features hits like the titular track and Can't Get By Me Love, both of which became transatlantic #1 singles.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. I was trying to do some kind of DJ from transatlantic. Your man, Tony Blackburn. Yeah.
He's dead now, isn't he?
No,
He's
still very much alive and still doing DJing, I think. John,
I'm thinking about
Terry Wogan.
Terry Wogan, yeah.
He was Irish. Yeah.
I don't know, it was before my time.
Same hairstyles. John.
Yeah, fucking comb overs.
Terrible.
Dreadful.
Before I let you in here, John, we're obviously talking about Hard Day's Night, and this is the album that the Beatles, and particularly John Lennon and Paul McCartney, really stamped their authority. And it's not to do a disservice to Please Please Me with the Beatles or Beatles for Sale, which are great albums, but this was the one for me.
Yeah.
When I started my journey as a Beatles fan, I just thought this was a phenomenal album, fantastic soundtrack. Was this the first soundtrack, would you think? I don't know, folks. Maybe you can help us out here. Was this the first?
Elvis for sure.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I forgot
he
about
was
him.
Doing his...
He was doing his numbers, wasn't he, with his films? The most important thing about this, John, this is the end of sort of Beatlemania and the Fab Four image before they moved into Dylan-esque.
Yeah.
They started listening to, obviously, Bob for
Smoking
obviously
hash.
help. So obviously this is a sort of
Marijuana.
last album before they matured into mature songwriters, if you like, but still a fantastic album. Great film as well. I probably will talk about the film anyway.
Stephen, I love the film. For me, it stands the test of time. It's one of the great sort of musical act linked films. I've never seen an Elvis film, and I've got zero inclination to go and watch them. They just feel like a sort of cynical, I don't know, publicity device
You've
for
never
the actual
danced to
albums.
Rockahula, no?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the fucking video clips. I mean, like I said, Return to Sender, I've seen the clip of him on the stage or the video from the film of him on the stage dancing and doing all the stuff, and he looks cool as hell. Elvis was Elvis. But it stands the test of time. It's far better than Help. Help's just a ploy. You talk about cynicism.
The film,
they wanted to go to the Bahamas.
The actual albums.
Yeah. No, Help's a fantastic fucking album, but the actual film is nowhere near as good as A Hard Day's Night. Don't get us even elements in that are pretty cool. Like the shared terraced housing and whatnot. I mean, it's pure 60s nostalgia. Not that I've got nostalgia because I was but a twinkle in my mother and father's eyes at that point. But it stands the test of time. I love A Hard Day's Night. It's a brilliant film. Brilliant little simple concept. Ringo's outstanding in it. But yeah, I agree with you, Stephen. The album's probably the last sort of chaotic, fast-paced.
And directed at a teenage fan base at that point. Probably the last time.
Because you think of those early albums, they're very snappy. 2.5 minute songs. They don't overstay their welcome.
Yeah.
Very well, obviously.
And they've all got the same sort of
Produced.
message. Love.
Yeah.
You know, this girl likes me, she likes you, that kind of thing. I love you.
I mean, Help's
Yes,
got
I
that
love
as
you.
well.
Love me do. Yeah.
Night Before and stuff like that. It's got stuff like that in there as well. But
there's an energy about it.
Yeah.
And the other thing I like about it is that all
Is
the
this-
songs sort of just, you know, they fall into each other quite well. You know, there's nothing that I would say, oh, that's a bit out of place. Everything just, there's a theme going along. I don't know if it's perhaps maybe deliberate to go with the film. I'm not sure of the sequence. I can't remember. Not seen the film in a while.
yeah.
But I thought it was great. I thought
There's just so many great songs in there. Happy just to dance with you and stuff like that. It's
get,
just a fucking...
obviously they don't want to miss the 60th anniversary reissue, John. But the thing that Giles Martin's been doing, he's been
I was going to ask him.
back the way, And this seems to have came to a stop, and it annoys me a little bit because I'm thinking perhaps are we stopping because we're going into sort of a Lennon period now because we're working back the way? And when I say Lennon period, I mean Lennon dominated, and Paul doesn't want to do that now. He just wants to do the reissues for the ones where he kind of carried the group forward. Because I think Giles Martin's always said, this isn't my only job. He's obviously doing other things for other bands and stuff like that. And
it's time consuming, man. I mean,
it takes a couple of years out of his life, every album, John, to be fair.
And I know they're utilising AI, and I think it's maybe
Revolver was fantastic, John, last year.
Yeah,
it was an incredible
release.
even
the stuff that Julian's done with Lennon's stuff and Mind Games. Sean Lennon's done with Mind Games,
Poor
not Julian.
Poor Julian.
Julian's not. He's kicked to the curb.
Poor Julian.
He's not involved at all. I think Sean's put the bridges out. He's trying to mend the relationship. I mean, he's mended the relationship with Julian long ago. It's just that other people can't let it go.
Yeah.
Because they've got a hard on for his mother, sadly, and ethnicity, strangely.
Yeah.
What a strange world we live in. The fans of a band that were always promoting peace and love and togetherness and just carefree happiness and to an extent, obviously, as they went on, there was other themes explored, as you did outline, Stephen. Drugs and whatnot, which they'll not admit to. Julian's fucking painting at school. Okay, John. Yeah, sure thing. Cellophane flowers made of yellow and green are newspaper portals and are fucking ships. Say on to the show. Aye, okay, John. Definitely, son. It's not LCD. It's not LCD. It's not acid. LSD, not LCD. It's not acid, John. It's LCD.
Fucking TV.
I think I would have loved to have seen him looking at a TV back in the day when he was on acid, Stephen, to see if it was like your sort of career. I'm not saying her name in case you still got some connection. Who was speaking to a fucking ironing board and thinking it was a crocodile or something. Yeah. Is she long gone?
Yeah.
So we can talk about that. So okay. Because I know sometimes maybe people from your work or whatever may pop in and have a look. I don't want to be saying anything that's inappropriate.
That was a long time ago.
I don't even know what I was speaking about when I went down that rabbit hole talking about fucking LSD and acid. I feel like I popped an acid in the midst of that. But needless to say, Stephen, that was the question I was going to ask before I went off on a massive tangent and lost my train of thought, which is dangerous. I was going to ask, has Giles been involved in this, or is this a sort of remaster of the soundscape and a remix? So it's just a reissue. That's kind of disappointing. Because the work they have been doing, like you said, reverse engineering, the sort of cataloguing back and remixing it has been unbelievable. Because he's been doing it almost like you'd be sitting in Studio 2 at Abbey Road with the band. He's positioning the drums and George and John and Paul precisely where they would be in your ears.
Yeah.
And it's for a long time I thought the remasters from 2009 were the sort of gold standard. A lot of people don't like that because they did clean up little things and they like just the
warts and all.
The warts and all of the original recordings. But when I go back and listen to the 2009 stuff now, I can't listen to it. Yeah. It just sounds fucking weird. It's weird the way they've constructed it. Some things aren't as prominent as they should be. To the point where if I go back and listen, I feel there's something wrong. That's Stephen's chair, I have to stress. So Giles has done a wondrous job with those remasters over the years, and it's sad to see that they're not continuing that into the early days. I understand these are more mono era, and it's really hard to separate all the various components in the song. But we know they can do it because they did it in the Red and Blue albums.
I think obviously because it's the 60th anniversary, they don't want to miss it. But I hope they do go back to what they were doing with obviously Giles Martin, because I'm very intrigued to see Rubber Soul as the next one.
I'm amazed they've not done that yet.
Yeah, well, it could be. Nothing's been announced, but
that would probably be the last one I would thought would be easy enough to do.
You're going into mono after that, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, John, I was going to actually get through track by track on this, and I'd like you to give me a rating on each song.
It's going to be biased because I think every Beatles song's fucking unbelievable.
So the first one is obviously A Hard Day's Night.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
That's a... Oh, yeah, you know what? I'll try and be fair.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Julian Edelman's podcast recently, Games with Names. It's a brilliant concept where he gets a guest who's been involved, player, coordinator, coach, in a famous game, and they name the game and they break down the components. And he goes on and his guys that run it go on about rookie scores not giving it a 10, try to be decimal and whatnot with the ratings.
Yeah.
So I'll try and be fair. Hard Day's Night, I'd give that maybe, in the context of the entire Beatles catalogue, probably an 8.3 out of 10. It's a great song.
Yeah, I should have known better.
I actually think that's better than A Hard Day's Night.
Yeah, I prefer it.
I'm going to give it an 8.9.
If I Fell.
Love If I Fell.
An incredible song.
9.2.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm Happy Just to Dance With You, which is a Lennon McCartney, but obviously George sings this one.
I referenced that. It's one of my favourite Harrison songs in the entire Beatles catalogue, so I'll probably give it an 8.5.
And I Love Her.
Incredible riff from
By
George.
Yeah.
Probably an 8.7. You see, I'm biased, man, after every fucking beat. I mean, if you put a Wild Honey Pie in there, I'll say it's a 2. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm not that biased.
It's because it's such a good album.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Probably one of the weaker ones for me. I'll give that like a 6.9, a 7.
Can't Buy Me Love.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Just glorious Macca vocals, incredible guitar work. Just really fast paced and exemplifies the Beatles at that point. So I'm going to give that a probably. I think that's right up there as one of the best songs in the album.
Yeah.
I'll give that a 9.5. That's just everything I think of early Beatles.
Any Time At All.
That's one of the weaker ones for me again. That's down probably like a 7.2 or something. So it's still a good song because they were all good at that point.
Yep.
You've got George Martin and brilliant producers behind the scenes, and there's great musicianship, and they're just breaking down walls in terms of sound design and what they're doing. They're all good songs at that point.
I'll Cry Instead.
I need to think of that one. That's one of the ones that you'd try and we do quizzes, so guess the song. And I know there's loads of people do it and they're fucking amazing.
John Lennon's the lead vocals on that. But I always thought...
What does that go like again?
I'm not singing. But I always thought you could probably listen to it on your phone, John, if you want to while I talk. But it was one of those ones that I always felt that would have been more suited to Ringo's sort of range. It's not a bad song. It's an okay song. It's very short. It's 1 minute 44 seconds. So it's kind of in there and out. You blink, you miss it. But it's part of the theme. It kind of runs.
I'll Cry Instead.
I'll Cry Instead, yeah. So for me, it's probably the weakest one. But it's still a good song. But it's that sort of sound from that time.
Yeah, that's probably a 6.5. Yeah,
as I said, it was probably the weakest one. Things We Said Today.
Oh, that's right up there. I think I'm accurate away.
I love the rhythm in that one.
Yeah, that's again like a 8.8, 8.9. I'm becoming like a Macca fan here.
When I Get Home.
Yeah, I need to think of that one again. I need to listen to that. There's songs that I actively avoid on some of the albums. Yeah, I love the Beatles, man, but I'd need to listen to it.
It's John again. It sings.
Oh yeah, I mean I don't mind that one. Yeah, probably
like that one.
Probably a 7.2. It's better than Things We Said.
One of the better.
I'll Cry Instead. Sorry.
One of the better tracks on this. You Can't Do That.
I mean Lennon's guitar, unbelievable. When I play it all the time, just brilliant structuring in the song. Yeah, I mean that's right. I mean that's like a 9.
Yeah, I'll Be Back. Finishing it off.
Again, I'm going to listen to that just to refresh my mind.
It's Lennon with.
Oh yeah, right up there. Yeah.
That's even that opening riff.
Yeah, it's like 9 again. That's one of the best songs.
And that's side 1 lasts 16 minutes 23, and side 2 or the B side, whatever you want to call it, 13 minutes 46. Very short album, under half an hour long. And
they were battering these albums out at the time. I mean, it was a slick process.
Or just over half an hour. Sorry,
it wasn't like 10 hours or whatever they done. Please Me in, but they were doing these albums very quickly. And there was high energy. I always envisaged that being like what it was like going to a concert or a gig, whatever you want to call it, back in the day. Just really high octane performance. Lots of energy, really young and bombastic at that time, I can say it now. So yeah, I mean, Stephen, you're absolutely bang on. One of the last sort of youthful, I mean, they were always young throughout their whole Beatles time.
Under
they weren't fucking ever old. I mean, it's crazy. I cringe now when I look back. I was 17, 16, listening to the Beatles. I was younger than everyone.
Worst thing you can do is compare yourself to the Beatles, John. And what?
I know.
Life.
I know. I mean, I've done it numerous times. John Lennon in particular, and I'm just like, what am I doing with my fucking life? This guy's like 33 here, and he's
a force of nature.
More.
Let's be honest, the 4 of them were a force of nature.
Than I'll ever accomplish in my life at 33. He's sitting in a mansion. I'm a fucking loser. Not you, John. You sung I'm a loser. What the fuck are you talking about, mate? You were literally on top of the world at that point. obviously the way it ended is unbelievably bad, but he was on top of the world and he's singing "I'm a loser." I'm like, John, I'm the fucking loser, mate.
I'm not what I appear to be. He said.
Yes. Yeah, I know what he's saying.
Psychological
insecurities and whatnot. I understand it, but yeah, I mean, you don't compare yourself to the Beatles ever.
It's not good for your health.
It's not good.